This is Shani and welcome back. I'm going to talk about tonight Little Women of Atlanta, which comes on Wednesday nights on Lifetime. I actually love the show. It's a little bit messy, but it's very entertaining. So let's get right into it. Tanya is pregnant by Nico. Once again, Tanya is pregnant by Nico. In fact, she's 2 months pregnant. And next week, she breaks the news to Nico. So, we just see it like one day. Oh, it's Wednesday. Here comes another show. So the show is a little bit deeper down where it's 2 months after Nico comes to visit. And she's now pregnant. She tells Nico on the next show, which I'm going to watch, and you should definitely watch as well, that she's pregnant. And he goes, you ain't on no birth control? She's like, I don't take any birth control or any chemicals because I'm a naturalist. Oh, so you rather have babies up in you instead of chemicals up in you. Well, Nico, if you weren't up in her, she wouldn't be pregnant. And what makes it so better where you can't wear a condom? Like, it's always supposed to be her responsibility, or is it both of your responsibilities? You've been through this before with her. You guys had sex. You're supposed to be best friends. You've been best friends for 10 years. You mean to tell me you can't say that before you do the act? Hey, I don't have a condom. Hey, do you take any birth control pills, or are you on the patch, or, do you have the shot? No, you didn't ask. And we all knew, especially when you and her introduced you guys to the ladies at the dinner table, that you guys were just quote unquote friends. Well, really, quote-unquote, friends with benefits for 10 years. And that's all because Nico isn't ready to commit, or will he ever be willing to commit to Tanya. Now, I spoke to my sister about it. Oh, excuse me. I spoke to her about it earlier before I got on. And she said that you got to think about it. How did they meet? Her and Nico. Who was she with when she had sex with Nico the first time? She was in a relationship. And so my sister was like, well, do you think he's going to take her seriously, or will he ever be able to trust her based on how they met, how they even got intimate? And that makes a whole lot of sense to me. Will Nico see her in that light of, this is someone he could spend the rest of his life with. This is a woman who he can trust. And that's something that the therapist said in the show. Is this someone you can trust? Is Tanya someone that Nico can trust? Is Nico someone that Tanya can trust? Now, when we first met Nico, and he came over to Tanya's house, and he sat down on the couch, he said that he was fine with the other man assisting and taking care of his son because he didn't have his things together. So at this moment, Nico doesn't have his things together. So is he someone that she seriously has to consider being in a relationship with? If it's possible of them being in a relationship, because he's actually comfortable now with them both agreeing and saying, even to her out of her mouth, that she and him are just best friends. However, they're best friends with benefits, which means that we don't have to take it to the next level to get the real benefits, and that's marriage, commitment, a relationship. So that was the big shocker. Not too much. I kind of knew within her actions that, wait a minute, she not feeling well. After Nico came to visit, you not feeling well? Okay, we know y'all got it in. We know y'all got it down. So, you know, truth be told, they were intimate when Nico came to town. And another thing I thought about is that Samantha is feeling a certain way about Tanya now. Everybody's coming to visit. Everybody's popping up unannounced and she not knowing. Now, I can understand her a little bit, but Tanya's brother comes to live with her. Him and his wife are having an ordeal and he had to step away. He is at his sister's home. So, you know, hopefully he's not stepping out on the wife or girlfriend or whoever, but he is at his sister's home until things die down in his relationship. So Samantha is starting to feel a certain way, which is understandable. Here it is. She already had one foot out the door when Nico popped up. Now here it is. Her brother pops up and now she may not have a room when the kids get back. So if I was Samantha at this point, she definitely needs to figure out whether or not she wants to stay here in Atlanta or she wants to go back home to Texas, you know, and it is what it is, where she moves on and get her own spot. So she needs to kind of figure that out, because right now with Tanya, especially that she's pregnant by Nico, and Nico was saying that he was thinking about moving into Atlanta, that she makes that decision of, hey, I need to get my things together. You know, I need to look for other opportunities as far as employment, if I'm willing and wanting to stay in Atlanta, or I go back home to Texas. Now, if she does go back home to Texas, she don't have to worry about it, because this TV series, Little Women, have a branch off where they spin off where they have a show in Texas. So, hey, she still has an opportunity to be on TV. And let's talk about Juicy. Juicy family comes to dinner, and the show is actually called Dinner Reservations. And her mom and her family, her upbringing, is all about religion. You know, her father isn't a pastor. Her mom's the first lady, and her sister and her. So the twins, I was right. I was kind of second guessing it last week when I said, who brought it up about her having a sex talk? So the twins brought it up. So it seems like to me, these women, whenever someone new comes around, they get a chance to show their ass. Let's be honest. They get a chance to show their ass. So Minnie was a little bit scared because her mom showed her ass at the table and threw wings on Juicy. So her mom was ready to pop off with the pop off in case Minnie and her family came. I mean, not Minnie. Juicy and her family came with the pop off. So she was like, you got me on speed dial, put me on speed dial, and give me the location. Like, really? Do we need to go to Ghetto 2.0 at the dinner table once again? Really? And so they were very easygoing and welcoming of Minnie at the dinner table. So she had that relief off her shoulder. Was the ladies wrong in intervening and telling Juicy's family? Once again, my sister says no, because Juicy starts a whole lot of mess, and it was time for her to get payback. And she did actually admit that as a child, she was always an instigator. However, she never could back it up. She was running off, chasing up behind her sister, getting her sister in fights, but she always ran away when the going got tough. Another big ordeal happened on the show, and that is Monty losing the engagement ring. I hope next week episode she finds it, but she breaks the news to Marlon, and it's not an easy pill to swallow for Marlon. So Marlon says, you know what? I gotta go. I have to leave the house. She's like, no, don't leave, Marlon. Where you going? Come back. She calls him. He hangs up on her. And not only does he hang up on her, he tells her, breaks the news to her that the wedding is off. There will be no wedding. So we definitely have to stay tuned and watch next week's episode to see what happens between Monty and Marlon with that ordeal. It was kind of saddening because in the beginning of the whole show, Little Women Atlanta, he was always so devoted to money. Money wasn't able to have a stable job. She worked for Minnie. She tried to do the voice acting. Things didn't pan out that good with that. And he took on the responsibility as a man, being a provider and paying for the apartment, moving in. And now he has a better job. So he took that responsibility off of her as an individual, but took it together as a whole in a relationship. Now the going has completely got tough. So they bounded together as man and woman in a relationship that it can last after this. He spent about $3,000 for the engagement ring. But think about it, that is the engagement ring. I know the engagement ring with the band becomes a wedding ring, but that's just one step. So hopefully they get past that. It's not going to be easy. I'm rooting for Money and her relationship with Marlon and becoming his wife and them possibly having children together and being happy. I'm rooting for it, but you know, that is a little bit heartfelt about what happened. We can understand his pain, his anxiety, him being upset. Finally, moving forward, Andrea goes to therapy. She's definitely trying to move on from Chris. The question is she ready to move on from Chris? Chris has left and went to Texas to find a job. What about if he doesn't find a job and comes back crawling to Andrea? Is she strong enough to say enough is enough? You did your dirt. You did your part. You walked away from the relationship. You keep going. Or is she in a position where she's going to continue to accept him and be his victim over and over again in the relationship? So I'm definitely hoping that Andrea is able to heal herself from this relationship and move on from Chris. Yes, he is the father of her 2 children, but he is not just the only thing in her life. She can move forward and be with someone who she can trust, love, and respect her truly. So definitely wanting to watch. Things are definitely heating up with these ladies in the season. And on that note, Little Women LA will be back February the 28th. And it pretty much is all about one of the ladies on there, I can't even remember right now, doing the Dancing with the Stars and how that's affecting their friendship, her husband and their relationship, from her not being able to have enough time because she's now this little quote-unquote celebrity. So I'm going to tune into that. I definitely want to see what's up with Tanya on Little Woman LA, because we now have 2 Tanyas. We have one on Atlanta and one on LA. But I definitely want to see what's going on with Tanya of LA relationship with her daughter's father, ex-lover, man, and now they're back in a relationship together. He actually left a woman he was living with back, I think he was in Texas as well, and came back to LA, moved in, quit his job, left everything for Tanya. Now, how is it going to go? Even the daughter last year said, hey, Mom, I don't think you should have got back with Dad. I mean, I'm fine with you guys being co-parenting. But being together in a relationship, I'm not quite sure if there was something meant for you. Now, is Tanya settling? Because we've been through it already with Andrea. Is she settling in her relationship with Chris in Atlanta? But is Tanya settling, in her relationship with her daughter's father? You know, her baby daddy, as quote unquote. Is she settling for her baby daddy? Is there someone else out there for Tanya who can really love her and be that hero for her? Or is it up to her baby daddy to be that man for her? But definitely going to watch that, see what's up with the new season of Little Woman LA. But Little Woman Atlanta is one hot Georgia peach. I got to tell you, those ladies are always bringing something. They're always interesting. But one thing I can say about Little Women Atlanta is that the sisters did get back together. They did get back on the same accord. Andrea and Amanda are back besties. She's creating a positive relationship between her sister, her twin sister, her best friend, her first friend, you know. And now she's just dealing with that little issue of her daughter having a little bit of slow development, which the twins both said that Andrea and Amanda said that they had issues when they were babies and they had a slower development and they had to go to speech therapy and so forth. So hopefully we're going to pray that the baby will be okay. It's just that she's going through those growing pains and stages of learning, and she'll be fine, you know. So that's it for today. Thank you for watching. Comment. Please subscribe below that little red button. Subscribe. I'm going to have more videos, of course. So if you enjoy watching, like, comment, subscribe. And thank you for watching. You are awesome. Bye.